Hello friends and welcome to another session of English literature. So friends, today's topic of discussion is Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable novel. So basically this novel is a critique on caste system. So that's why today's topic of discussion is Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable as a critique of caste. So friends, in this video you will find a brief summary of Untouchable and what is caste system, what is untouchable, along with Untouchable as a critique of caste. So let's start the session. So firstly you have to know about the summary of Untouchable. So Untouchable is the most influential novels on caste system by Mulk Raj Anand. This story revolves around the central character named Bacchus, who belongs to the untouchable outcasts, has to face dilemmas because of the caste system. But ultimately the writer has shown the spark of changing the devastating cruel caste system and caste hegemony through Bacchus' character. Bacchus' mother was died as shown in the novel. Bacchus lived with his sister named Shohini, his brother named Rakha and his father in the colony of the outcasts. So Bacchus is actually a rebel. He wanted to come out from the shackles of caste system. That's why he always tried to live in fashion and tries to imitate the colonialists. So Bacchus admired the Britishers a lot and tried to get dressed like them. But misfortune arises when Bacchus unwillingly starts his father's work. Here Anand shows just one day's story as well as struggle of Bacchus. So after cleaning the latrines of the village, when Bacchus goes to clean the roads, he reluctantly touches a person and the misfortune begins. Then Bacchus' sister molested by a priest named Kalicharan, and after all these incidents, a frustrated Bacchus meets Colonel Hutchinson, who was the Christian missionary who teaches Bacchus about Jesus Christ and told Bacchus to pursue Christianity. Then Bacchus goes to Gol Maidan and hears a speech of Mahatma Gandhi, who talks about social reforms as solution to the menace of untouchability. Then, encouraged by Gandhiji's speech, Bacchus listens to a poet, Iqbal Rath, who said that the problem of untouchability can be solved if the modern flush system toilets are introduced. So this is the main crux of this novel, Untouchable. Now you have to know that what is caste system. So the term caste denotes large-scale kinship groups that are hierarchically organized within a rigid system of stratification. The concept of caste system begins in ancient society. The Sanskrit word for caste is varna, which means color. The color element of caste was emphasized during the Aryan period. The Aryans were the Divija or twice-born castes, consisting of the Brahmins, means priests, the Kshatriyas means warriors and aristocrat people, the Vaishyas means cultivators, and the Shudras means the Dasas, which form the Varnashram. Romila Thapar once remarked that the first step in the direction of caste was taken when the Aryans treated the Dasa as beyond social pale, probably owing to a fear of the Dasas and a loss of Aryan identity. So friends, this is the main idea of caste system or Varnashram. So now we have to know that what is untouchability. So with the concept of Varnashram, the concept of untouchability has begun. As early, the Hindu literary classics describe the society into four Varnas, means Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. It excluded the untouchables, who were despised because they were engaged in occupations that were considered unclean and polluting. Thus, the concept of untouchability began with the religion of Hinduism and later has spread into the root of Hindu societies in India. Ellen or Zeilert in this context remarked that untouchability originated in India around AD 400 and it arose out the struggle for supremacy between Buddhism and Brahmanism, and it has molded the history of India. So friends, it is clear that from the classification of caste system, untouchability begins. Now let's jump into our next section, which is Untouchable as a critique of caste. So firstly, you all know that Untouchable is a novel by Mulk Raj Anand. So in this novel, Mulk Raj Anand incorporates some of the most glaring social evils like untouchability, exploitation of the laborers and poor workers, position of women, and so on to raise the social consciousness. In the book called Dalit Literature and African American Literature, in an essay called Awakening Social Consciousness, Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable, R.K. Dhawan states that in Untouchable, Anand has dealt with the ghastly evil of untouchability, afflicting the Hindu society of the pre-partition era, that have successfully stifled the healthy growth of a considerable section of the Indian community for centuries. So Anand himself was witnessed the devastating effect of caste system in his childhood, as he in the sources of protest states that The cruelty of this God-oriented system means Varnashram came home to me when Bacchus, sweeper boy, brought me home bruised in the head by an accidental stone, and my mother scolded him for carrying me and touching me. This little incident was a remain in my conscious unconscious and became a passion for justice against the age-old fixtures of non-human discrimination against untouchables. This became the protest in Untouchable. So from this portion we got to know that Mulkraj Anand himself witnessed the effect or the cruel effect of caste system in his childhood when a sweeper named Bacchus brought him home when he met with an accident, and then his mother, means Anand's mother, scolded the sweeper boy Bacchus. So recalling the genesis of Untouchable, Anand admits that in the early 20s he came across a poignant story about a sweeper boy named Ukha by Mahatma Gandhi in Young India. Then he showed this book to George Russell, who told him to write like Gandhiji. Russell also said that Mahatma Gandhi says the struggle to free untouchables is equal to the struggle for freedom for India. This portion is taken from the genesis of Untouchable. So thus Anand started to write the novel Untouchable on the theme of untouchability by using his real life experience and Gandhiji's story of Ukha in Young India. So basically, Untouchable is a sociological document that focuses attention on a number of customs, traditions and social evils of Hindu society in the 1930s. Even water, which is a source of life, became the object of caste system in this novel. The untouchables and Dalits like Shohini, Gulabo and other women who had to wait for hours for a pitcher of water so that a high caste person came and poured the water because the untouchables didn't have the right to touch a well. So friends, this incident reminds us about the incident in Munshi Premchand's short story Thakur's Well. So Munshi Premchand is also a Dalit writer, and in Dalit's Well he showed that the Dalit characters like Gangi, unable to take water from Thakur's well or any well of reputed family, and they are forced to drink spoilt water. In Untouchable, Anand also criticizes the double standardness of the God-fearing Hindu people who, on one hand, keep themselves away from the shadow of the untouchables, and on the other hand, the priests like Kalinath tried to molest and sexually abuse Bacchus' sister Shohini. Thus, it means that they do have problem with untouchables, but they don't have any problem in engaging in a sexual activity with an untouchable woman. In this novel, Anand shows that when an untouchable walked on road or bazaar, he had to cry around, "Posh, posh, sweeper coming." And when Bacchus forgot to warn people about his arrival, he unconsciously touches the tunic of a caste Hindu who immediately starts shouting, "Why don't you call you swine? Do you know you have defiled me?" Bacchus wants to protest in the Bazaar incident and in the temple incident, but he couldn't able to utter a single word. As Anand puts in, his mouth was open, but he couldn't utter a single word. Then a shattered Bacchus goes from street to beg some food, and thus he gets tired and sits in the front of a house, but the woman abuses him and throws a bread into the ground. So this is how people behave with the untouchables. So Bacchus' innocent mind receives a big psychological jolt at the court when he carries the injured child from the hockey match, and the child's mother, instead of thanking him, rebukes him and abuses Bacchus for having polluted her child. As she said that, "Way, eater of your masters, what have you done? You have defiled my house besides wounding my song." So this incident is the same which was happened to Anand himself when a sweeper boy carried him to his house. Thus, after all these misfortunes, after all these incidents, a heartbroken Bacchus meets Colonel Hutchinson, who was a Christian missionary. He teaches Bacchus about Jesus Christ and told him to pursue Christianity. Then Bacchus goes to the Gol Maidan and hears the speech of Mahatma Gandhi, who talks about social reforms as a solution to the menace of untouchability. So encouraged by Gandhiji's speech, Bacchus listens to a poet, Iqbal Nath, who said that the problem of untouchability can be solved if the modern flush system toilets are introduced. So in this context, M.K. Naik in the book called Mulkraj Anand writes that in the end, it suggests three alternative solutions to his problem. A missionary tries to persuade him to embrace Christianity. He listens to Gandhiji, who advocates social reform, and he also hears the mechanical solution as the only answer possible. So friends, from the above discussion, it can be said that Mulkraj Anand's novel Untouchable is absolutely a critique of caste or caste system. So friends, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this, and if you find this video helpful as well as useful, then please go on and like this video, comment on this video, and don't forget to share this and subscribe to my channel. So bye bye and see you in the next session very soon.